All right, everybody, here we are at the finals of the 2016 Imperial Assault Regionals at Covenant Tulsa. I am Zach.
And I'm Steven.
And we have the classic Scum v. Scum matchup here.
Classic. Now, Zach, you say classic, but let's be completely frank here. Scum was nowhere to be seen previous to, from what I can tell, these Banthas. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. We got the mini wave of the Bantha and the Smuggler, and the Bantha kind of changed the whole game. So we have JD on the left, Jesse on the right, both players playing a very similar list. And the Bantha is just a beast to be dealt with. And it's not just the Bantha. So they have a couple important cards. First, they have Temporary Alliance to bring in a couple Rebel units, which they typically bring in C-3PO and Gideon. Second, they have Devious Schemes, which means they get to pick which side of the board they start on.
Whoa.
And your opponent has to deploy and go first.
Cool.
But if you both have Devious Schemes, then it's back to a coin toss, which both these players do. And last but not least, they have a card called Beast Tamer. The way that works is you can exhaust it at the start of a creature's activation to give it 5 movement points.
Oh, whoa.
So the Bantha...
Stomping around.
Yeah, the Bantha has 5 speed. And so with Beast Tamer can essentially move 15 spaces.
Whoa. Baby. I love it. Well, yeah, so important to note, too, that this is Imperial Assault Skirmish. So if you're watching this is the skirmish mode of the game, which is not the campaign, which is what, the majority of players, and generally where Imperial Assault cut its teeth, as it were.
100%.
Was on the campaign mode. But the skirmish now getting a lot more action, particularly because a lot of these new units have come out and things have changed to make it a much more diverse, competitive environment, which is really cool. So this is... also, these guys are using our command tokens, I just noticed, which is fantastic.
They are indeed. Those are the focus tokens from our command token line. And yeah, and this is before Bespin came out. So before Bespin came out, this was
That's
really...
Lando and all those guys.
That's Lando and all those guys. And there's Zillow Technique is this incredible card for Imperial.
I keep hearing nothing about Zillow.
It's
nothing
so good.
but Zillow, man.
It just makes all the Imperial things good again. For a long time, we had 4x4, right? 4 Imperial Guards.
You mean from the beginning of the game?
Yeah. And then they kind of disappeared. Saboteur Luke got really popular. Then this showed up. And it made this and actually Troopers popular. Troopers were a popular list here at this tournament, barely not making it to the finals.
Well, say no more.
So
I believe it to be good.
Yeah, but this is definitely, even now with the new meta, this style of list still really good. The Bantha, anytime it ends its movement on a unit, does a damage to it. But once you end your movement on a unit, you can't move again for the rest of that activation. And so with 15 movement, right? So like if Jesse could go over to where all of JD's units are, he could land on like 3 or 4 dudes. They all take a damage.
So you're just playing a big old game of chicken here in the beginning. It's like once your 15 spaces kind of committed with a bunch of guys, that Bantha starts rampaging over you.
Yeah, and actually the thing that makes, and it's really everything in Imperial Assault, the thing that takes anything really over the top is the command cards.
Yeah.
And before I dive into that whole conversation, this is the professional context scenario. So you see the 3 circles in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
Figure can take an action when they're next to it to score 2 points.
And they can do that. They can keep plugging
They
the
can do it
machine
once per activation, per group.
Okay, once per activation.
So they can just keep scoring points. We've seen this a lot. I think that's actually what Worlds was on, the Worlds Finals, this very scenario. One of the maps not rotating out is the Cantina, which is this beautiful...
I mean, how can you rotate the Cantina? Doesn't make any sense. I'd never rotate the Cantina.
Well, I think we will eventually rotate the Cantina. But yeah, so the other thing about the Bantha that's crazy is they have, I forget the name of the card, but when he lands on someone, it's a command card that just does 4 more damage.
Whoa, to everything?
To one thing that's on that thing.
But it's like trample? Stomping?
I think he has an ability that's called trample. That's a different, I'm going to get to that in a second. But the forecast card, some of the 5 health, right? If you go step on it and play that card, just dies.
Yeah, that seems real good.
No rolls, no whatever.
Yeah, whenever you say no rolls in a dice game, that's all you need to say.
It is really good. Now, the thing about the Bantha is it's got 21 health, which is a lot.
The thing, Zach, you keep saying the thing about it, but the thing about it is it can move 15 spaces and trample and stomp.
But it's got 21 health, but it does not roll defense dice.
It looks gorgeous, too.
Very well painted here by both of these players. But yeah, so no defense dice, but still 21 damage is a lot of damage to do, even without defense dice.
So it's like the Decimator in X-Wing.
Yeah,
it's that kind of a situation.
And so what it also has is, I believe it's called Trample, but I know what it does. It can pick 3 units that are adjacent to it. So you go stomp, right? And when you land on stuff, they have to move.
You displace them, basically, yeah.
But they're still next to you. And it has it can spin an action. Looks like we're getting a first shot here. HK going from Not so far downtown. HKs are nuts, by the way. That's another scum.
What's an HK?
HK droids, the assassin droids.
Ooh, I love assassin droids.
They roll 2 blues and a yellow, so like their average range is like 7.
Yeah, because they're assassins, man.
Yeah. All right, Jesse rolling surge cancel here. I don't know who's shooting who. I thought it was Jesse shooting.
Well, it was
JD.
at first,
Flipped around.
but then they flipped dice. Somebody just lost it. Maybe they were just rolling to see. Maybe it was a gentleman's agreement there.
I don't think so.
This terminal's looking good out there.
Yep. I agree. All right, HK stepping back a little bit. Yeah, HK is, so when you focus in HK, which you do a lot of times with Gideon in your list and C-3PO, they're rolling blue, yellow, green. It's like you can literally consistently hit from like 10 to 11 spaces away.
But then you're in the Bantha stampede zone, so be careful, Zach.
Well, that's the thing though, is when you're 11 away, you shoot and then you can move.
Yep, and then you can move back.
The trick to the Bantha is you just have to position completely different. It's sort of like when the Saboteurs got really popular and Blast was a big deal. You just have to start positioning very differently.
Yeah, just don't put everything in one giant box.
There's one of those focused HK shots. You see the HK here. I think he's shooting the Tusken from downtown. I don't know what he's shooting here.
We'll get some count out here.
There it is.
Boom. Man, these guys are just evaporating. Jesse, you're cleaning that up.
The focused HKs do it. But if you look, so JD up top has 2 HKs.
Is that a Nexu?
Yeah, it's a creature, so it can also use the Beast Tamer, right?
Awesome.
It's good, and that's one of the big variations in these 2 lists. Jesse preferring 2 regular HKs. JD instead getting a Nexu, but I believe upgrading to an elite set of HKs. I'm trying to look at his list here.
So moving 13, we've got a Bantha stomp there.
Yep, just came and stomped on top of one of Jesse's Tuskens, I believe. Tusken's also getting play, by the way, for those excited.
Well, it's kind of a wildly cool Star Wars moment there.
All right.
We've seen a lot of the kind of the third string.
And we are on
Star Wars
Tatooine, by the way.
creatures. I like that.
Now, the thing about JD's move there is he is now very much in range of everything with that Bantha. So
Yeah.
it's either pile on the Bantha or not. But you look at up north on JD's board, and he's got 2 HKs with a focus in front of them.
This seems like Pain Town.
They are ready to deliver the pain.
And still a Nexu kind of coming around the sweeping around the corner.
Nexu's so good, man.
I've
He's
not
really
seen a
good.
Star Wars game where they're bad.
They're good. All right, Jesse here, using Beast Tamer. Here comes the Bantha.
He's going Bantha here.
And he's thinking about his movement. It's always fun. Back in our Monpok days, I got really good at grid movement, right?
Yeah.
So it's very natural for me, but seeing players not used to it with a Bantha or something,
Yeah.
because the little figures, you don't really have to deal with
And
it.
sometimes you can get farther than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get in places that you really didn't think you had any business being in.
Especially, so on the next 2, he has Pounce. And when he pounces, he becomes a single space while he's doing those 3 spaces of Pounce. And then he plops back down. So like you can actually do some
It's like a morpher.
strange things, especially around corners.
Oh, man, yeah. I know exactly how that looks.
Yeah. All right, Bantha coming in. Stopping on, I think, one of his own HKs?
Looks like, yeah.
Which is a really good positional trick to move your own units. And now he's just going to shoot at the Bantha here. Rolled 4 damage.
So
does
Bantha's
4.
shooting at the other Bantha.
Yep, no defense die, so just doing 4. And Jesse positioned his Bantha there. Now he's within of everything, right? Like he can stomp on any of JD's things next turn. But he also blocks the way so that he can kind of hide his units behind there and then move them around because he doesn't have to spend extra movement to go through
Yeah,
his
that's
own
pretty
Bantha.
sneaky there.
Yeah.
That Bantha's just clogging the lane.
That's a pretty normal, so like JD could have been in a similar position, right?
Mm-hmm.
With his Bantha and clogged the lane for Jesse and then just took all of his units next to the contacts and started clicking up points.
Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah, then Jesse'd have to go around the other direction, but we'll see what happens. Here come the HKs with focus. This is where Jesse's Bantha is going to take some punches in the teeth. Do they have teeth? I don't know.
Banthas?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, JD actually shooting at the Tusken here that had been displaced by JD's Bantha. The Tusken next to the contact. Rolling 3.
Yeah,
It's
3.
good.
Is that 3 evades?
Yep.
Oh, baby.
You want to know what's crazy about the HKs? See Jesse re-rolling there. When HKs are attacking, they can re-roll one of their own dice and one of their opponents.
Goodness gracious.
Yep. They brought the heat. So Jesse re-rolling to a 1. JD having the option here to re-roll one of his dice. And if you look here, JD has 8, 9, 10 range without the green. So he could have shot something from a long way away. 7 damage to the 1 block, so that's going to be 6 coming through. That, my friends, is a dead Tusken.
Dead Tusken is what that looks like to me.
Oh man, playing something there.
This assassin droids, look at him come out. This is really fitting though. It's very thematic to assassin droids are doing what they do best. I mean,
oh man, JD's attacking the other Tusken with this HK. If he can kill it, that's an activation off the board for Jesse.
Oh, but he's got 3.
3.
He's gonna have to re-roll that 3.
Yeah, he's gonna make him re-roll.
You better earn it.
Ah, there it is. That's a big roll. Because that Tusken's not only an activation, and points because it's a card, but he's next to a terminal, so that's actually a huge roll.
That's amazing.
JD re-rolling there, has the range, but not going to do very much damage. Looks like 2 damage, I think. Pierce 1, add 1.
Doing a little math.
2 or 3 damage.
A little quick damage math.
But that's fine. There's a 3 token coming out.
Yeah, not worried.
But that could have easily been a dead Tusken, right? Like, JD could have easily rolled a couple more damage. Jesse didn't. He rolled a 3 twice. That's insane.
Look at, wow. That is a really long range, Zach. I mean, when you can shoot as far as a Bantha can run, I don't even know what the world's come to.
Yeah, but you know, the thing with those HKs is they cost a fair amount of points, right? And they only have 5 health. They roll a black pretty easy. Like, you can kill them pretty easily.
Nice.
So once you do get to them and you can shoot them,
Bit of a glass cannon, eh?
they go down. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, baby.
And I think that was really the start of a new era of design for this game, where previously the Saboteurs and Luke got really good. And part of that was the white die on defense, rolling the dodge, the ability to just cancel an attack.
Yeah.
HK is effectively making you do it twice, right, to actually dodge.
Too good. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Too good in all the right ways. Look at that bracelet. What do you think about that bracelet?
Jesse's always got the goods.
I mean, what is that?
I don't know. It's like a zipper.
Seems pretty. Is it retro? Is it forward thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I'm sure Jesse will comment and let us know.
I would like to know why he's flipping us off right now, too.
Yeah, he's very angry, Jesse.
He heard us talking about him.
And he's like, hey, shut up.
All right, so here we go. We got some movement happening here.
He's going with the other group of HKs.
Okay, so there's 2 groups of HKs over here on this side.
On Jesse's side, yeah.
You know, I've seen their performance already. Pretty impressed.
Yeah, they're worth doing. All right, now JD is coming around with Nexu moving and then pouncing. Going to get within range of this Tusken, and again, that double 3 is going to really potentially keep him alive. We'll see if it does. Another 3. Goodness gravy, 3. Jesse. Blocked them all.
Says yes.
By all measures, that should be a dead Tusken. But that's the game you play.
That is the game.
You know,
anytime you put dice in hand, this is what we have to deal with.
That is Wildcats.
What is it? What's the story of that? And that's just a terminal sitting there, right? That's a standard terminal?
Just a standard terminal, yeah. All right, so end of turn, going to ready everything, draw their command cards. And that's another thing. So JD ultimately jumped out on top of that Tusken more than anything to just get that. There's a terminal under that Bantha.
Yeah.
So now that terminal not being controlled, even possibly controlled by Jesse. So pretty good positioning.
Who do you think, where did the scales of justice lie on this?
That's what I was getting ready to do, but Jesse just played Janlin Terror. So this is a card that you need to know about. It's an end of round action.
I need to know about it.
Everyone needs to know about it. And it's the last thing that makes the Bantha just bizarrely good, which you'll see here. Jesse essentially getting to attack at the end of a round.
What's that? Is that what that's from? The Janlin thing?
Terror, letting him attack.
With everybody?
With a Bantha.
Oh, wow.
But he rolled really bad. A single surge and a single damage on the red.
It's about as bad as it can get, isn't it?
Yeah, Janlin Terror, I think it's like a Tusken or it's the Bantha. And I think he attacked the next up there with the Tusken. And it gives you movement. I think it's 2 points of movement.
I'm already terrified.
So with the Bantha, it's pretty crazy, right? Bantha can shoot and then stomp on you again.
Ugh.
It can be a lot. And you can actually have 2 of those in your command deck.
You're really selling me on this.
It's one of the best lists in the game.
I'll start running some Banthas. I'm into that.
They're really good, man.
When they look that good, you got to get them on the table.
All right. JD here, getting initiative and then playing Ferocity.
Looks like he's taking a swing here, too.
rolling off camera so we can't see it.
Looks like 2 damage went through from the
Ferocity.
boom. There they are on the droid.
And I need to check the wording on Ferocity.
Yeah, check that out.
That is a wild card to be seen. I'm not a Bantha player myself. You got to understand.
You're not a bit. Yeah, you wouldn't strike me as a Bantha guy whatsoever.
No, I mean, if you had to guess, like, what do you think I'd run?
Oh,
see if you can get it
I
right
don't
while I'm
know.
looking this up.
Probably Mr. Vader.
It's pretty easy. You did it.
Darth.
You got it right. So Ferocity uses the end of the round. Choose one of your or your opponent's creatures. Perform an attack with that figure. So he
So he
used
chose his own Bantha, or the other guy
he
is...
used Jesse's Bantha
against
his HK, getting a free couple damage there.
I like that.
It's really good, especially in this meta.
I like it as an idea.
Because there were so many Banthas expected, even at the top tables.
Things I never thought I'd hear. So many Banthas expected at the top tables.
Yes. Well, it's real. Banthas,
These Tuscans were onto something.
They did it. The craziest thing, the thing about the Bantha is, that should be a shirt, the thing about the Bantha, there are lots of things, it's obnoxious.
We got Nexu going on here.
Nexu coming at the HK that's focused. This could actually be a huge
Nexu's weakened
roll.
too, it looks like.
Yes, it is. Oh man, that's just bad rolling, JD.
No longer weakened. It's worth something.
Yeah. Well, it's like, he's a damage and a bleed. Do you really want to fire an HK shot at that Nexu? Nexu can just dodge. You know what I mean?
I mean, yes.
Yes.
Is there a right answer? I think the
Tusken
Nexu
goes for him.
If I'm looking at him on the board, is a lot scarier looking than anything else. I would be nervous.
It's fair, and he's only got like 4 health left.
You remember that Nexu in the Star Wars TCG? What was that? Every force power costs like 1 extra or something?
Every time you spend force, you have to spend an extra.
That's so killer.
And I remember using it with Darth Vader C, intercept,
blocking
him.
That just immediately, that is impressed upon my mind what a Nexu is all about. I see Nexu and I think denial.
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 All right, Jesse playing focus to become focused, probably with that, with an HK. It looks like all the dice.
Oh, all the.
That's actually pretty bad on the blues.
Pretty
Gonna
bad.
reroll one of them. It's not so good.
He's
4
got
damage.
range.
And
He's got range all day.
What's he shooting at? Do we know?
We're about to.
The
Looks
Bantha.
like the Bantha, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to roll the damage, not the
Why didn't he
surge.
tell his dice that?
Well, you know, you got to talk to your dice sweetly. The thing about the Bantha that I was getting to earlier, it's actually not the Bantha, it's the rider, right? So that's actually important because he can interact. He can interact with things. Like
Can the rider get on? He can't jump off the Bantha.
No, but like if you're next to that thing, you could score 2 points.
Look at these horrible rolls coming down the pipe.
He kind of deserves after his double 3s on the defense, triple 3s on the defense earlier. No offense, Jesse. He deserves the best, but.
Boy, that's real bad though.
Yeah.
It's like when you got a punching bag in front of you and you're kind of just missing it.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do that?
Or, it's like you could use a Star Wars reference. Your opponent like drops his lightsaber, and it's like yours just won't turn on.
Yeah.
It's like, I could get you right now.
That'd be a very sad moment in the movies, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll see if that ever happens.
We got Rogue Squadron coming up.
Yeah.
Episode
Just not an episode.
7.5.
Episode 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
3.8. Confirmed that Vader's in it, by the way.
Really?
Yep. It's like 10 minutes before New Hope, so. And it's about the team that steals the plans for the Death Star. So.
Oh, it's so good, man. I can't wait for that. Although, I heard about all of these, like, production delays and
like
rewrites and
refilming
rescripts and stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. It could be related to, we'll see if it is. They announced that, I forget the actor's name, but one of the actors is actually a character from Clone Wars, which is set like 15 years before. Cartoon being brought into a movie, which is cool.
Wow.
Yeah, people are really excited, hoping for the old Ahsoka later down the line. All right, JD here with his own HK. Now he's rolling the jams right there, getting 2 damage on the blue, 2 damage on the yellow.
Yeah, pretty solid.
1 block from Jesse, going to be a dead Tusken. That's 7 points for JD.
And he's out of here.
And if you didn't know, and if you're this far in the video and don't know, you're crazy. 40 points to win. That's what we're aiming here.
All right, 40 points to win. If you kill your opponent's stuff, you get points, and if you plug the terminals, you get points.
If you buy drinks, well, it's context. There are people at the bar.
All right,
You buy them drinks, and they give you info, and you score points.
Okay. Drinks.
Get me a drink. All right, JD really just having, I think, great
field
positioning
day
here. Yeah. So his HKs are actually in the cantina, right? So you can see Jesse's Bantha. Ah, what a roll. 2-2 and a hit and a surge. That is like optimum damage on those HKs. Wow.
He's making it happen here.
Yeah. Battle the Banthas.
Yeah, I like that. How did these Banthas now? How many of these bar contacts are really going to be spitting information when there's two Banthas
hanging
sitting there? Can we get the Banthas out of here? I can't hear anything. They're eating the band.
There is no band. There's only Banthas. And you'll notice C-3PO staying well away from that cantina, understanding that they don't serve his kind.
Robot jokes.
I got him.
Droids.
Yeah, and actually, you'll see here, both these players' positioning is just critical. I think JD having a very insanely good understanding of positioning. Look at his Nexu, right? He's blocking the way so that Jesse can't move to the terminal and shoot.
It's Clog City over here.
Yeah, Clog City, and...
It's like Arkansas.
That's so funny. And JD also having his units actually in the cantina, which if he can position right, he'll be able to keep shooting the Bantha and scoring points all at the same time.
It seems just kind of like a death blender right there at the choke point. That Bantha is doing a great job of just sponging around. Nexu plugs it up down over there to the east. And now he's got free reign. So when do you start as a player? When do you start just cashing in these contacts, just pressing the button?
Well, I think...
Because you don't want to fall behind, cash in for points now. We've played enough board games. You don't ever go for victory points at the beginning.
Yeah, I think you don't... And JD getting the 1 damage there. I don't think you go for it until your opponent starts going for it, because you're not effectively behind until then. And so spending activations on points instead of actually doing damage puts you behind on the unit curve.
Yeah. But what if both people are playing that way? Then they'll never get to it.
That's kind of the point of the scenario, right? It's like it's the balance of when you do it. And I actually think if one player can destroy the Bantha of the other player first, that's when you start ringing the bell.
Yeah, ching, 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 ching.
Because right now, if you put a guy next to a terminal and start clocking points, the opponent can just move the Bantha on top of that guy and move him off of it.
Yeah.
Looks like...
Can a Bantha move through a Bantha?
No.
That's good to
Which
know.
is another thing about JD's positioning that's so good. All right, Jesse here, unloading. Oh, yeah,
right.
That's what you want to see. All right, I think he's shooting the Nexu here with that HK over there. Getting a couple more damage in.
But not enough.
Not enough. He'd really like to see that thing go.
That's just that's such a weird looking thing, those Nexus.
They're creepy creatures, all the teeth. Another thing about the Bantha. The thing about the Bantha is...
Is there another thing about the Bantha?
It's a bad thing, though. You can always see it.
Like, even
like
around
right now,
corners and
Jesse's
stuff?
shooting past his Bantha at his opponent's Bantha with an HK.
Oh.
Ooh, 6 damage, pierce, give me some extra damage.
Could that Nexu over there see the Bantha?
No, he still has to draw a line of sight.
Okay.
But it's like there's
no
no intervening models or obstacles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a heck of a lot of sense.
He's giant. You can't not
Yeah.
see him. JD's Bantha is almost out of here.
He's running out of gas. What is he at? 19 over there, it looks like?
I think he's at 19, and that puts him at 2 health. Jesse's, I can see 10 damage on at least. And to be fair, Jesse he's running 2 HKs and not running Nexu. So he's got a little more diversity in his firepower. And the Nexu is better at positionally blocking and moving things around. But JD has positioning, Jesse has firepower right now. We'll see which one wins out.
I like that game. I'm always a positioning guy.
Yeah.
I always think that positioning is key.
Especially in miniatures games.
Especially in miniatures games.
All right, Gideon here, focusing from downtown and moving the Tuscan.
He's got play, man.
Gideon's the jams.
He's just a wise old man.
Gideon's so good, you play him with scum. You went 3 points of absolutely incredible. All right, Jesse here giving the HK next to the Nexu a focus with C-3PO.
You boys like Nexicu?
Nexicu. That's funny.
What's the difference between a droid and a robot?
Droid has personality.
Does that have like AI built in?
Yeah.
Is it meant to
A
emulate?
robot, a robot could be like just a mechanism that rinses
like
and repeats. But I think a
twirling
droid
wheel.
is inherently artificial
Has to have the level of
intelligence.
intelligence. Okay, I'll believe that.
I don't know. It's Star Wars. It's the same thing. What's the difference between coffee and calf? Depends on who you're talking to.
Calves connect me to my feet.
No, like calf, CAF. That's what they call coffee in Star Wars in the books. It's the rule. They don't ever call anything by Earth things.
Right. Because we've lost a few vowels since then.
Well,
that's like, the way things are going right now, anyway.
Yeah, right.
TTYL.
2016. Make America Great Again. Speaking of Make America Great Again, there is a Trump Bantha.
Really?
Yeah, it was at the
Make
tournament.
Coruscant great again?
It's Trump on top of the Bantha. It's hilarious.
Great. That's a Google search
And
away.
he's got like an American flag. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Does it say Make Tatooine great again?
No, I don't think it
would
says
have to,
anything.
right?
It just has his big hair flooping back. It's so funny.
It would really have to.
All right, Jesse's Bantha now. It looks like 18 damage. It's getting hot up in here. He's going with his Bantha. Shooting the Bantha. If he gets 2 damage here, Bantha's gone, clearing up the way for him to do some stompy stomps. Oh no. Oh no. 1 damage, that's the worst. Oh man.
That could, it's those little dumb moments with dice that could easily be the tale of this game.
Oh, and he's gonna use his little stompy stomp. Just do damage straight up. So he was doing a red-blue, rolled 1, rolled a red and did 3. So funny. So the way the stomp works, you pick 3. I didn't get to that thing earlier. You pick 3 guys adjacent to you.
What's the thing about the Bantha?
The thing about the Bantha, you pick 3 guys adjacent to you.
Right? Yeah.
You roll a red. Whatever you roll, they suffer that damage.
Okay.
No defensive dice.
Ah.
So you roll a 3 on the red.
Direct.
And 3 just take it. So you stomp on them, do 1, roll a 3,
Why
take
even
another.
Why even have dice, I ask you? Why even have dice?
Well, that's what
Just
the
make
Bantha's
it
saying.
numbers.
I don't
Just
have
make it
defensive
numbers.
dice. I don't even need to roll attack dice. I just do a bunch of damage.
Playing Star Wars chess over here.
But hey, he dies to guys with dice. I'll say that.
Yeah. I believe. He has no choice.
All right, Jesse here, popping up to 13, getting rid of the old Bantha.
So now you're saying it's time for him to start plugging the meter.
Well, yes. You see all Jesse's guys behind his Bantha?
Yeah, they're waiting to party here.
Yeah, his
They're ready to go.
Bantha has 1 activation left, or has Beast Tamer. So Beast Tamer going to let him move, stomp onto the Tusken, do damage to him, right? And make sure the Tusken's not next to the little thing. But now Jesse's units can move around to the terminal, into the contact, and he can kind of start getting positioned. That said, Jesse's Bantha is not long for this world.
So that contact is being crushed by a Bantha at this point.
Currently, they're hugging. Yes, they're hugging firmly. And I'll tell you what's going to be important, too. Jesse gets to go first on this next turn, assuming there's no take initiative action happening. But if Jesse gets to go first, he's going to get to go with that Bantha before it says it's goodbyes.
Yeah.
Which would be a huge damage swing.
So yeah, that's actually the order of this has been critical for Jesse.
Yep.
That he's going to get to go with that. And that's just it's just so the case in all of these miniatures games. It's all about focus fire. It's all about actually getting bodies off the board. And if you come up a little bit short, then you get a full activation.
Yeah, and like check this out, right? So Jesse's Bantha right here, Beast Tamer can move on top of all 3 of those models. So he does 1 to all 3. They all have to move. And that's what he's doing. Then he's going to be able to stomp, roll a red. They all take that damage. And then he's still got 1 activation left, so he can shoot one of the guys.
Goodness.
This is the dream of the Bantha. That is actually the first time in this game where I think JD just positioned poorly.
Yeah.
Jesse's landing on the guy where he put him, made it where he could stomp it all 3. Rolls a 3.
3 damage.
That's 3 damage to all 3 of those guys.
Bantha town.
And now the Bantha is going to get to attack one of these units. He's going to shoot the HK, of course. 4 damage. He needs to do 1 here. Red and a blue. Can he get it done?
Is it even possible to fail?
It is.
Well, you just
like that
about
right
found
there.
It. Yeah, that's exactly how you do it.
1 block. I think he's got a pierce. Does he got it? He had a weaken, though.
That's going to be it.
Now, I think
You got him.
I think he forgot the weaken there. The weaken should do 1 less surge. Jesse only rolls 1 surge. So he shouldn't be able to pierce there, I don't think.
Oh, yeah?
I'll have to
Is Bantha's weakened?
inquire about that. Yeah, I think the Bantha was weakened after that last turn.
I don't see a token.
Well, it moved after his inspiration. You know, it's what it does.
I get it. I see. Is this how tokens work? Mark the state of the game.
That's how the weaken works, at least. It disappears.
So this looks like this turned pretty heavily in Jesse's favor.
Yeah, rolling that 3 on that red, a really, really big deal. And getting to go with the Bantha first to do it in the first place and get the attack. Now he's losing HK there. It's good. Good for JD.
See, these look like wily plans happening here.
So he punched the HK to kill it. Now he's moving back to get in the action. Beast Tamering back, rather, I think.
Can you tame an Exu?
Yeah, it's
Personally?
a creature. No. Only Padme. Jokes.
Maybe that was
All right.
that was a problem with their chemistry.
Well, we don't go into that.
Personified
I can't go into that
Exu.
on video. I can't go into prequels here on a. I just can't.
We just don't talk about that.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think Jesse, that interaction in particular, where he gets to go first with the Bantha, able to land on all 3, do damage to each, able to do 3 damage to them all.
Now, why is it? Is it just because it's too tedious? I feel like miniatures games. This is one of my favorite things about like Torchbearer, for instance, on the role-playing side of things, is that as you get injured, you get worse at things. Right? It seems like a lot of miniatures games don't bother with that. It's like you have 20 health, and when you're at 19 health or you're at 5 health, you're still just as effective with the unit. And that's why we see a lot of the same kinds of tactics that we always do. Focus fire, get things off the board. But, what if every 5 points of health you lost, you got a -1 to things? That kind of
Like you
make it
you
feel
get
more
weaker
real,
or
right?
stronger?
Like weaker.
Yeah, well, I think
And then some things would get stronger. Like the Bantha probably gets stronger as it got hurt.
Yeah.
It is a little more tedious, though. Quite a bit more tedious.
I think part of the problem with that, too, is that naturally, if you're the one taking damage, if you got weaker, it's the opposite of like a comeback mechanic.
Yeah, it's true.
So it actually makes it harder the further you get
It'd
behind.
be a problem. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah, but I could see the case of like, all right.
All right.
See you, Bantha. He rolled way more damage than needed.
So now both Banthas are off the board.
I would love to see something that gets stronger as it goes,
Yeah.
where it's like you don't want, it's like Vader. It's like the more you poke at him, the more angry he gets, the more rage, all that kind of jazz. But
Classic dark side stuff.
that's cool because like you're getting closer to death and getting stronger.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, if then you die, then it didn't matter anyway.
That makes more sense.
But
It makes more sense from a mechanics
now
perspective.
campaign, they actually have it where you do get worse, right?
Yeah, that's
you get
right.
bloodied,
You get bloodied, yeah.
which is, I
It's a
think, representative
reasonable
of that kind
thing
of
to bring up, yeah.
Campaign's so good.
Yeah, we've got to.
I'm kind of. It's been
to play it.
It's been wild. I'm kind of waiting. There you go, Tuscan, making some context there. I'm kind of waiting for whatever's coming. They announced the individual wave of like Obi-Wan and Inquisitor and Greedo. But I'm waiting for whatever's after that. I think this winter I'm probably gonna run something up. I just need.
When it gets cold and
I
snowy.
played the original campaign, right? And you
Yeah.
add all this stuff to it, and so for it to be different enough, I played the original a couple times. Different enough, I want there to be enough things out.
Okay, so you want a little bit more random, a little bit more
Yeah,
variance.
because now we have Twin Shadows, and we have Bespin, and we have Hoth. And it's like you add another thing, and you have all the individual missions that have come out along the way. It's going to be radically different.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, JD or Jesse.
Woo!
So the J off. The Bantha Bowl. There's no there's no J. I'm trying to think of some like
The fat guy, Django.
there's a J guy, but you know how it's like the Bantha Bowl. It's like the J jive, the J jam, the J.
You just did it. You nailed 2 of them.
Well, I want something that's like a conflict, right? The Bantha Bowl is like
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
it just kind of stops, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I'm saying. I need a
I
J.
like jive though. I think that was a good
The J jive.
journey.
The J jam.
Jam.
All right, here. Bantha, this is what I'm talking about. This HK, I think he's shooting literally
little-
from downtown Tulsa.
these little droids are troubling.
They're really good.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 space.
And that's without any like surge to gain range, right? He's just like, I'll shoot you from over here.
All right, so now we're gonna
Pierce one.
touch some dice.
What is he shooting at and where? Gideon? Where's Gideon? I think this guy is shooting Gideon. Oh, rolling the 3. Get out of
Rerolls
here.
into a 3. Dad says no.
Yep. Oh, what is that? Is that an HK hidden in there in the sand?
Yeah, it's hidden.
Why is he rolling a black? That's what I don't know. Maybe a command card to switch it. Who knows? Oh wait, HK's rolled black.
I was about to say, I think they have a black die set.
Yeah, if they had a white, I'd probably just be complaining. Their one weakness, they can just dodge it. Gideon getting in the action now. He has to.
Jamboree.
The J Jamboree. The J-Boree. I love that you're still thinking of it. Gideon here trying to make some contacts. JD's going to need some points. I like him. He has the Bantha. I like that Bantha's kind of like taking the terminal with him. It's moving a spot. It's not supposed to. It's just slid.
He just kind of slid.
It's like, yeah, it's over here, you know.
Because he ate the contact. I could talk to him in the deceased Bantha body.
This scenario would be interesting if you could kill the contacts, right? It's like they have 5 health and they have 1 built-in block, and it's like you either ding, 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 or you can just kill them.
Just kill them.
C-3PO making some friends. Of course, he's in the cantina. He's about to get kicked out. Gotta watch out.
That assassin droid seems like locked on.
All right, they're both getting 2 command cards here. Beast Hammer of Jesse's just going away because his only beast is off the board. All right, we got Gideon and C-3PO versus 2 HKs and a 3rd HK versus Nexu, an HK, Gideon, and C-3PO.
Setting a trap. There's traps being set. Jesse's setting traps.
Yep, so you choose a tile, which in this case he's choosing the ginormous Cantina tile. And at the end of the round, if your opponent has a unit in the tile and you have a unit in the tile, you can choose one of your units to take a shot at that unit in the tile.
Okay. At the end of the round.
End of the round. If you both have a unit in the tile,
Okay.
essentially you can shoot at something in there.
Well, that makes sense that you would choose that as your
The ginormous tile?
yeah, as your tile.
Yeah, depending on the map, that can be really good or really bad. And of course, the way the tournaments work, 3 scenarios active, or 3 maps that have 2 scenarios each. So you know this is one of the 3. And each of the maps actually has a pretty large tile. The Hoth map that could have been played here has a big one in the middle.
Jesse's also the kind of guy that sets traps.
He is.
Just as a matter of principle.
Scum.
1 block, too. Wow.
Yeah, that HK
Just lighting the world on fire.
coming to town.
A lot of surges.
JD really needs to get something off the board here. Only getting the damage there. That's not what he wanted to see. Oh, man.
Stall tactics? That
Means he gets to add a white die to the roll, and he gets a block and a surge cancel. The second best result on that white die.
That works.
And Jesse can play that after JD forces him to reroll, so he can't make him reroll the white, right?
There you go.
Some tactics happening here. Is it enough?
And then search for +1, Pierce 1, 3, 5.
+1, Pierce 1.
And gone.
Their math's fishy, man.
That was some fishy math, wasn't it?
I think he said +1, Pierce 1 for 3 damage, which he blocked everything but 1 damage. So it should be +1 to 2, Pierce 1 to cancel one of the blocks. I guess that does add it back. Yeah, that's right. They're right. They had it. They just moved fast. Gets fishy. So Zillow, which I was talking about earlier.
All I've heard about is this Zillow.
Once a turn, you can exhaust it to cancel up to Pierce 2.
Okay.
You can also, for any...
Wait, it just sits around? It's just a...
It's like a Beast Hammer card, right? Like you can
Okay.
just exhaust it during your turn to cancel Pierce 2. You can also discard any command card to add a block,
Whoa.
right?
That's killer.
Yeah, so it's one of those cards where it's like, in that case,
Oh,
right?
baby,
Surge
look
cancel.
at this.
4 damage, that's gone. Going, gone. What's he shooting at?
Isn't it cool
Oh, the
to
undamaged
just
HK.
be in the Star Wars universe like this?
It's good.
It's about time we had a miniatures game again.
Yeah, and I mean, this is honestly, after this last wave, when we get Zilla training, the troopers got a little more support, the spies got a little more support, the Jedi got a little more with Davith, the random Jedi that's really spy, that's really cool, and the scenarios that have been developing. This game has blossomed into just awesomeness. Oh, Nexu gone.
Next you gone.
Jesse taking advantage here. This is looking not so great for JD. His HKs have already gone. His Gideon and C-3PO left.
Not exactly the damage outputters that you're looking for.
It's a bar fight at this point, though.
Just a slugfest?
Jesse has 2 HKs that are heavily damaged, and they're on different cards. So if one of them goes down, that's an activation gone. And Gideon. And JD has 1 HK with Gideon and C-3PO left. So, like, JD is a pinch behind.
Jesse have 3PO as well?
Yep. planning, that could be helpful. Draw 2 command cards. If it's a leader, you can keep them both. If not, you have to discard 1. Getting rid of Adrenaline Terror. Not doing much without that Bantha around.
Yeah, I definitely don't need it.
But yeah, Zillow, in those cases where they do just enough damage to kill you, right? Like, you can then decide to discard a command card, gets a
Right.
free block,
It's just adaptability.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
there's always a premium on that.
and it makes every command card at least worth a block, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, you'll draw command cards that are only usable with troopers, and your troopers are dead. So, there you go.
Field Tactician, what is that? Move a couple spaces?
Uh,
Focus?
I have no clue, man. That is they are running some choice cards here, some advantage.
Let's check it out.
I'm an Imperial man. The game is Imperial Assault after all.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right, Field Tactician. I just got to look now so we can see what's up.
Yeah.
Choose a friendly figure within 2 spaces that figure may interrupt or perform a move. Hey, I have actually done that before. That's funny. It's like a officer command without having to have an officer. All right, a bunch of damage here. This is actually really good for JD. I think it's going to remove one of Jesse's HKs, and it does, scoring him points. And most importantly, we are now down to an HK and C-3PO and Gideon versus an HK and C-3PO and Gideon.
Wow. Say it ain't so, but we also have a whole lot of action happening in the cantina here.
JD is in the cantina. He's got 2 units in the cantina. So he has an HK with 2 health left.
Does Jesse have anything in the cantina right now? Is that
No.
his HK down here?
That is not Jesse's HK.
So he needs to get a unit in if he wants to set a trap. Remember,
that is correct. He wants to set the trap.
this is his last chance, though. Looks like he's sideways.
Well, he can move the one with the focus into the cantina here if he goes to the left and up. Shoot at Gideon with a focus.
Seems good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that?
I mean, you set the trap.
He said.
But
You
here's
don't
the
set the
trick,
trap
though.
and then run away from
Here's
it.
really the trick. So JD's HK has 2 health left, and he's hiding back in the cantina. Jesse's HK is full health. What you don't want to do if you're Jesse, because you're not going to have initiative on this next turn, I think that's a really good play. Going to move there next to the terminal, get the extra card. Not going to set the trap, I don't think.
No traps were set.
But Jesse gets initiative, and what you don't want to do is be in a spot where JD can get your HK off the board.
Yeah.
It just takes 1 attack.
It's a Razor's margin.
Oh,
here.
take initiative. JD going to take initiative here, exhausting probably C-3PO.
I've seen that card so much.
It's classic core set, always going to be there, never going to go away. Now we do have negation. We have some cancels now. Just so you're aware. Don't you love it? You love it.
Say it ain't so.
There's an
The
upgrade
most hated card type.
that can cancel 0 cost command cards.
Okay.
Like take initiative is 0 points, so you can cancel it with negation. It's very specific. Whew. HK coming to town, and JD's HK off the board. All right, we have a Focus Gideon, and here's what Focus Gideon needs to do.
Tell me about Focus Gideon. Tell me a story. Weave me a tale.
He needs to attack Jesse's HK, and he needs to kill it right here.
Well, then we just have like basically a talk fest, so you can talk up those contacts the most.
Sorta. It's like, can one of the Gideons get rid of the other C-3PO? Right? Or can Gideon get rid of Gideon? This is a bar fight.
These
It's
are
like
the-
a just dirty, gritty fight.
These are the Star Wars riddles I grew up with.
Here we go. Gideon on HK. JD needs him to roll like a surge cancel. That's okay.
3.
What was the? He was
The other one was
focused.
2. I think he pulled it away from
All
the
right.
block.
So 3 damage on Jesse's unit.
Okay.
That is not what JD needed. Oh, I think JD actually took initiative with his HK, assuming it would die. So C-3PO is still up, so he can score the 2 points. Interesting.
That's called smart.
Yep, that is called thinking. He's a thinking man. C-3PO getting in the canteen action.
Yeah, I want to see these. I want to see these droids go at it.
They can't attack. C-3PO can't attack. So it's
The
just
dream is
ding,
dead.
Ding, 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 ding. Score the points. Here we go. JD scoring 2 points for C-3PO. And then looking to move. Get next to Gideon. Going to offer him a surge cancel. Or, of course, just a decoy target.
Or just some kind words.
Shoot at me.
Just some empathy.
Yeah, so it's going to be with a surge cancel from C-3PO and roll on a black die. I don't think that Jesse's HK can just off Gideon. So he's going to have to keep this balance of like shoot or just run.
Okay, well, Gideon's coming in. We can do a little backdoor.
Oh man, gonna shoot at C-3PO. White die needs something here. That's
He has
something.
what he wants.
Gideon focused. Ah, yeah.
But blue-green is the call made.
Yep. Rolled too many. Oh, man.
Baby.
That's 4 damage.
I guess I cower.
So he's going to cower because it would kill C-3PO. Needs a dodge. Doesn't get it. And that's probably going to spell the end. That's 2 points for Jesse, but more importantly, it's going to mean that C-3PO can't focus Gideon. It's going to make it very hard for him to kill at HK.
Yeah, it looks like it's over, man. It looks like it's over.
It's close.
We've got Gideon on Gideon.
What JD
C-3PO.
needs here is another take initiative, which can't happen.
Impossible.
It's literally impossible. I honestly think if I'm Jesse here, I'm probably
No startup round.
moving.
I'm going to negation.
Oh, wait.
Negates.
Negating take initiative. Hold the phone.
Negates?
Shouldn't
Jesse have had the initiative to begin with?
I think so. Gideon shooting at HK, I guess. +2 kills the HK. All right, we have
What?
Gideon v. Gideon and C-3PO.
What? Wait, the initiative thing still confuses me.
I don't know what happened. I just know that it did.
Is the take the initiative? That's not a temporary thing, right? You take the initiative and then you pass it back on the next turn, right?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know what
I think
happened.
he played take the initiative, but didn't Jesse go first last time? Didn't he take the first HK shot? Maybe it was negated or something.
I don't know.
Wild.
Maybe it was negated.
Wild.
Who knows?
Just wild.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Gideon 3PO versus Gideon. That's insanity.
Yeah. It is insanity. But so JD here.
I mean, it's not insanity, actually.
If I'm
it's
Jesse,
not insanity at all.
If
Actually,
you're
it's
Jesse,
pretty
look,
normal.
here's what you do.
Pretty expected.
C-3PO moves, scores 2 points. Gideon moves, scores 2 points. You're 38. Right?
Yeah.
What are you doing here, J-Dog? And then you're at 38.
Don't lose sight of the prize here.
Yeah,
Let's
just
plug the context.
Ding, 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 ding. Gideon can't kill you in time to not ding this in.
Ding it in. Jesse.
What are we doing?
He's got blood on the mind, man.
He just
See,
wants
you're
to-
getting sidetracked. You're
Yeah.
getting sidetracked. You're not keeping your head
I mean,
about
he's
you.
focused and sure. That's a lot of damage. 2 blocks. Gonna add 2, so 4 damage. He's still 1 away. Man, I'll tell you what, if it's pretty safe. Now you did 4. Jesse knows he's gonna get initiative back, and that's the game. They're calling it.
There it is.
All right, congrats to Jesse, regional champion. If you'd like to upgrade your tokens to these beautiful acrylics and the bases, check them out. Command tokens on our site. We'd love to have you check them out.
Yeah, that'd be great. It helps us support what we're doing here, and we've got more Imperial Assault. Maybe even some campaign play because we really want to sit down and
Watch
do that.
it.
May as well get it on camera.
Yeah,
while
and
we're
I've
doing it.
gotta watch the Lord Vader with Zillow just destroy some people
Lord
on camera.
Vader
So
with Zillow.
We'll be back with
See you guys.
Zillow. Catch you guys later.